My teammate Izzy led off because she's lead off when she hit a home run. Yeah. That just pumped us up the entire time. We were like, oh, like we're gonna win this game. We didn't, but we had a lot of energy just coming in when she led off like that. It's like Central Valley's field, but ×2 worse.
Why you gotta make fun of Central Valley's field?
It's short.
Oh, it's terrible. Thanks for doing this. It's nice to have the seniors get interviewed. And did you watch the Coach Maggott? Did you watch that show?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, pretty cool. First off, let's get started. So, with your youth program, or when you were growing up younger, how did you get involved in softball?
When I was little, I didn't even play fast pitch. I had played slow pitch for a couple of years in Robinson because they had like a little rec team. And then when I hit like 10 years old, there was a fast pitch team. And my dad was like, hey, do you want to do that? And I didn't make it. I was horrible.
You didn't?
My friend asked me, hey, do you want to try out for this travel team? And I made it.
Okay. So what travel team was that?
The Pittsburgh Lady Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners, okay.
Yeah.
Did you always play with them, or did you move to other teams?
I've been around. I've been to a lot of different teams. I started with them. Then I went to Steel City Heat. Then I went to Team PA. Then I went to Pittsburgh Passion. And then I played at Outlaws for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then that team like unraveled, and I went to Ohio Lasers. And now I'm actually back at that Roadrunner team.
Oh, okay.
I definitely played Macy before, though.
I saved all of Macy's games, so I'll have to look and see when did you play her?
When she was on Wilson. That's the first time I saw her when we played her, and I was like,
which team were you? Which team were you on?
Ohio Outlaws, Sheriff.
I have all her games, so I'll look back and see if I can find any highlights of you playing her. Okay. I think that would be pretty cool. You played at Hopewell one year, didn't you?
Yeah, my sophomore year.
So you were at Montour as a freshman?
Yes.
Okay. And then you moved to Hopewell for one season. And then you ended up in Western Beaver. Are you going to Lincoln Park?
Yeah, I go to Lincoln Park.
Okay.
And I moved to Lincoln because I saw they had a health science program because one of my teammates went there. When she told me that it wasn't just for performing arts, that you could do health science and pre-law, I was like, oh, health science sounds interesting. So I went there for academic purposes, and I just ended up at Western.
Okay. And I don't think a lot of people know that. I always thought Lincoln Park was just like performing arts.
That's what I thought. But there's more majors that you can do, like health science, pre-law.
Okay.
Writing and publishing.
Okay. And I bet you they do better than public schools as far as getting you kids ready for college.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just assuming. I know that. I have two daughters, and I don't feel that they were prepared as much as they could have been going into college, because college is a whole different beast that you'll find out soon. But that's good though. That's good that you decided to make that move. You moved around a lot. You have a lot of mileage. That's good though. Are you happy where you're at now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Through your previous seasons and leading up to your senior season here, have you had any challenges or setbacks?
I did have a really big setback. I think it was younger 16s, because I tried out for this competitive travel team And I was told that I did have a spot, but I still tried out. And at the end, I was told by a coach that I was too small and that I wouldn't fit good in with his team because of my figure. And hearing people say that to me, I was like, well, okay. And then the next year, I ended up making that team.
Okay.
And that coach wasn't there anymore. So
okay.
It just brought my confidence down a little bit, but I kind of used it as like fuel to like want to do better.
That's what, and I've mentioned this with another girl I interviewed, but Macy has a similar story. I mean, she was always looked at as being too small, and I mean, she's only like 5'2" or something, and when you hear that, it motivates you. You use that to push yourself and to show people and show them wrong. And like I said, with Macy does that too. I mean, she gets people always talking about her being too small or whatever, but just use that as fuel to your fire, push you. I mean, you're a phenomenal hitter. And I don't think I mentioned anything before about that, but like just seeing you, I watched you play up in Beaver in the fall tournament. I mean, you were crushing the ball. Like it's no, like Macy, with her being a slapper, she cheats a little bit with her batting average. Just putting the ball in the dirt and run or whatever. You swing and you have a high batting average, and that's pretty impressive.
Last year when I started playing, at Hopewell, I did have a high batting average toward the end of the year. I think it was around 580 or something. And the thing is, when I play high school, I don't realize all the stats. I don't look at it, and then at the end of the year, I see it, and I'm like, I just play the game. I don't worry about the stats. I just hope that my team, I know my team looks up to me, and I try to put more on myself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely better when the whole team is like, oh, Shay's up.
They feel comfortable that you're up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can completely understand why. I definitely would feel comfortable with you batting if I was coaching your team as well.
Yeah.
Can you share some highlights or memorable moments that you've had throughout your career up to this point?
It was definitely when I played at Western and we got that first section win against Mars, because before that, Western hadn't won a section game in 2 years.
Oh, really?
And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were 32-0 or something.
Yeah.
It was bad. And we beat Mars, and then we beat Moon the next day. But the thing is, they didn't know Western Beaver was going to be what it was.
Uh-huh.
So when we got there and we beat them, I guess the year prior to that, Moon decided to dance in front of Western Beaver's dugout last year. But then the next year we ended up beating them. It was 7-2 or something.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a good story. Macy's travel coach is actually coaching Moon now. She didn't coach him that year, though, that they would do dance. She wouldn't allow that to happen. And, of course, playing in the playoffs had been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever been in the playoffs. And also, when we got there and my teammate Izzy led off because she was lead off and she hit a home run, that just pumped us up the entire time. We were we're going to win this game. We didn't, but we had a lot of energy just coming in when she led off like that.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember I actually watched that game. And that home run was pretty exciting for sure. I was rooting for you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, the playoffs and that whole atmosphere is so different, especially with...
It really is. There's so many people there, and everyone's talking. It's
the field. And a lot of you, with you playing on the travel teams that you have, you've played on turf fields before, but there's a lot of high school girls that really aren't exposed to that. So that's kind of different. It's a different type of atmosphere. You didn't lose any girls to graduation, did you?
One.
Just one girl. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that experience, being in the playoffs, that's going to do you good for this year coming whenever you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about your senior season. So with you being a senior and one of the team leaders, and you've already mentioned this, looked at with your teammates looked up to and expect to help perform and do the things you need to do on the team. But can you describe a little bit about your team's dynamics and how things are behind closed doors? I mean, I know Coach Hannah had talked to me a little bit about what she likes to teach you girls or push you girls, but I'd like to get like a player's point of view on what you guys do as a team.
So, you know how high school is. It's like you have some really experienced girls and then girls who want to play softball just like at high school.
Yeah.
And with that type of mix, I feel like we kind of just teach confidence because Western Beaver, it was a mix last year. It was like you have really talented and then you have girls who are learning. And when you teach the girls who are learning, then obviously the dynamics, but if you teach them to have confidence and teach them that if they go up there, we'd rather have nobody else up there. It's one of those things where it's like they're going to get a hit. They're going to have confidence. They're going to make the play. Like, I think confidence is a really big factor within baseball and softball.
It absolutely is. Absolutely. Yeah, and the younger kids or the less experienced girls, you know, sometimes that's all they need is someone to believe in them. And, you know, with you being a leader and it obviously, I mean, it's good that you have that mindset because you need those girls to perform for you because you need 9 players, not just 6 or 7 of you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know softball. Do you only play softball or do you play other sports?
I only play softball.
Softball. Okay, so of course nowadays when you play one sport, you're doing it all year. We all know that it's a lot, especially if you're playing college ball. So tell me a little bit about what motivates you and what maintains your passion for the game.
Joining more competitive travel teams as I go along. I always like to keep the mindset that there's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody working harder than you. And I like to keep it just clean and slate. Just work harder. If you want to be better, work harder than them. I look up to people that have a high batting average. I look up to people that make great plays. I do all that stuff.
And you're right, though, because there's always someone better than you. And you'll see it when you get to college. You know, you'll right now, and like I said, the reason why I say this is because I know this with Macy, but when you go on that team, you know, there's people that work just as hard as you, that are just as athletic as you, that hits the ball just as hard as you, and you know, you're in with the dogs now is a good way of putting it, you know. So a lot of hard work, obviously, with you committing to a D2 school. You obviously are a hard worker. And what kind of like off-season training and preparation do you do?
So in the winter, I go to a trainer that's in Aliquippa with a couple of my other school teammates once a week. I also do hitting lessons once a week. And I also go to the cages once or twice a week. And then travel practices we have on the weekends for fielding. So. Okay.
Where do you train at?
I go to this guy in Aliquippa. His name's Cradell. He's very competitive, like hardworking conditioning coach, and he helps us get stronger and learn new things.
Okay. Yeah, Cradell, actually that's where Macy trains or used to train. Yeah. She still goes there sometimes, but I went to high school with him. I played football with him.
Oh.
You know, we both went to Hopewell. And he was a year older than me. But I love Cradell, what he does with the kids. Man, he really works you hard. How often do you go there?
I go there once a week, but I think my other teammates do go twice a week.
Yeah, Cradell's a good guy.
Yeah.
Right. What's your favorite thing that you do there?
Definitely sleds.
That's your favorite thing?
Yeah, they make me like, because it's one of the things I'm better at.
Oh, so you're good at driving. You got a strong lower half.
I'm better at that than doing like upper body.
So what's your least favorite thing?
Anything to do with like pull-ups.
You don't like pull-ups. Do you use the bands? Do you use the bands?
Yeah. I can only do like 2 without the band.
That's funny. Do you like the box jumps?
That's probably my least favorite thing. That
Yeah,
one
yeah.
right there. I forgot about that
You don't like the box.
because
Not many
I'm
kids.
so like,
Girls either love the box jumps or they hate the box jumps. There's no in between.
I think too much and I can't even get like 36.
Oh no. And that's what that is. That's a mental thing. I
Oh,
think that's why.
yeah.
That's why he does that a lot too. I think it really, it's training you to overcome maybe girls that aren't really confident in themselves. It really pushes them to kind of see over
Yeah.
that. Do you have any kind of like team goals or anything that you guys have coming into the season? I know you had a lot of success last year, and you definitely can have room for improvement. I mean, you guys made it into the playoffs. I'm sure you guys want to push for section. At least I know that's what Coach Hannah's
Yeah.
goal is. But talk to me a little bit about maybe your personal goals or your team goals that you have going into your senior season.
So for team goals, I definitely do want to be section champs. We could definitely pull that off. And I don't think teams think we can in our section, but we could definitely get that done.
Mm-hmm.
And then personal goals, I definitely want to make sure that when I leave Lincoln and Western, I guess, yeah, Western Beaver, I want to make sure that people know who I am. Like I'm sick of people being like, "Oh, I don't know who that is." Like I just like to have people know who you are by the time you leave and go off to college.
Yeah. So you want to set impressions. Yeah.
Yes. I would like to break a couple records at Western because of how short the field is. I could get a couple home runs over there because that's my pole side. But last year it was tough. I don't know what it was, and I did have a high average, but I didn't hit a single home run.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
seen
what I
you.
said. I was like,
I seen you crush balls. When you guys played in Beaversfield in the fall, you hit a home run there, didn't you? Or you at
no.
least came close. Did you hit the fence or
Yeah,
something?
I hit the fence twice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you never hit one. Wow. Is it? Or now, let me ask you now, from on a coaching standpoint, are you thinking about hitting home runs? Like when you go up to that
Not,
plate, are you like, I'm going to hit a home run?
it depends in the situation.
Okay.
Like sometimes I'm just gonna crush it, but then other times I'm like, okay, just hit it and we'll be good.
Okay.
But I'm not really a home run hitter. I used to be, but I kind of grew out of it. I'm more of like I guess, spray hitter.
Okay.
I hit all around.
Good. I was just wanted to ask you that because I know sometimes with Central Valley's field, I know there were some girls that
Yeah.
it it got in their head, and I see it with kids or teams that come and visit that team or that field.
Yeah.
They come in with the same concept, so they're popping everything up, and they're not. But if you're hitting that ball hard on the button all the time, then you'll get your singles, your doubles,
Yeah.
your triples, your home runs. But that is funny that you've never hit a home run because I saw you hit some bombs in Beaver. With you, I feel like you haven't got the respect that you deserve through the seasons. So I can definitely understand where you're coming from because, like I said, you're one of the best hitters in Beaver, at least in Beaver County, from what I watched. And I don't want to say this to get you inflate your ego or whatever. I'm being
Yeah.
serious. Like you are top three hitters in Beaver County, if not one of the best. And I understand what you're saying where I don't think you've got that recognition or that that respect
Yeah.
that you deserve to have. One of the things that I do with this network is that I want you girls to be known. I want you to be heard. I want you to, I want you girls to get the recognition and the respect that you deserve. So I'm going to push for you to be known.
Thank you.
Some good goals for sure, and
Yeah.
I definitely can see you guys. I mean, you have everything. You have a great catcher. You have a great pitcher. You got
Yeah.
plenty of bats on the team. You just need to kind of fill out your lineup with a few other spots on the field, and I really think you guys could definitely take it for sure.
Sometimes it's frustrating because our field is so different than everybody else's. Like it's like Central Valley's field, but times two worse.
Why you got to make fun of Central Valley's field?
It's short.
Oh, it's terrible. I never been to
That's ours.
Western's.
Ours is horrible.
What is your dimensions on your field?
Okay, so for one, it's up a hill, and
The
right
outfield
field's
is.
yeah,
Oh,
right
jeez.
field's like 170.
Oh, wow.
And then, oh no, right field's 165. Center's probably 180, and then left field's probably like 170.
But you guys, your
It's
whole field.
frustrating because yes, it is to our advantage too. I understand that, but some games are just it goes their way because of the way our field works. Like we played, I think it was West A,
Oh,
and there
West
was
State,
this ball. Yeah,
they probably hit 20 home runs off that field.
that's the thing. I was like, I understand we have it too, but some of these are just bloopers over right field. Come
They
on.
shouldn't be. Yeah, yeah, I agree. So is the whole outfield on a slope?
No, just right field.
Just right
Like
field.
half of like right center over.
Okay, and that's tough. I played at Penn State Beaver. I played baseball there, and their right field is the same way. Their right field, they have a really steep hill in their right field, and
Yeah, it's
that it messes you up, man. No one understands how tough that is. I can see your frustrations there. Is there any talk about doing something better for you?
yeah. There's a field down the street that we could pay to play at, but Western Beaver like has to approve it, which we were gonna get it done this year, but I know next year it should be done by then.
Is that like a complex where there's like two or three fields in the
Yeah,
same area? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
And I totally agree with you. Central Valley's field is not very good, but I didn't realize your field was that bad. I
yeah.
always
It's very
said
frustrating to
I
play
always
on.
said CV has the worst field in the county, but
Yeah.
maybe I need to start saying it's Western.
It is. It's so bad.
Okay, so let's get into your college. So, congratulations on Slippery Rock. That has to be
Thank
exciting.
you. Yep.
One of Macy's teammates is going. Actually, well, two teammates, I guess.
Is one of them go to Latrobe?
Well, that's Kayla Williams. She'll be in your
Yeah.
class.
Yep.
The other teammate that she had, and she was only a teammate for like 1 year, I think. But Kayla, we can talk about Kayla. I love Kayla. She's awesome.
Yeah. I've never met her. I just saw that she committed there, and then I also saw we played her. So
She's a good pitcher. She's not like an overpowering pitcher, but she
yeah,
does.
I I hit the fence off of her too. I can't hit a home run, but she was a good pitcher. Like coming out of our section into seeing that, I was like, okay, it's the real deal now. I was like,
Yeah, yeah. She's she her balls move really well. She has a lot of good
yeah,
pitches. She hits her spots incredibly well.
mm-hmm.
She's very consistent, and that's the type of pitching that you're going to see more of in college. Is
Yeah.
that
She
quality of
definitely threw
pitching?
a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the emotions that you had when you first committed to Slippery Rock. To just kind of explain that for us a little bit. How did it feel?
Um, I was a little bit nerve wracking calling the coach. I was like, okay, have to commit now. And after I did it, it felt like somebody lifted weight just off of my chest
Yeah.
because I committed as a senior. I committed a little bit late, but um, it was definitely one of those things where it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, I have a school, like, it's okay.
When did you commit verbally?
I committed in the fall.
In the fall. Okay.
Yes.
So you were dealing with that through this summer. That's hard. That whole recruiting thing's tough.
Yes.
It's really hard on you girls mentally. Talk to me a little bit about your recruitment process. So like and keep in mind too that a lot of younger kids watch these interviews. So just kind of share with us your recruitment process and what was unique about it.
So at first, I didn't have that much help. I was emailing, I was doing everything I could to get a coach to come watch me. And eventually, a D2 coach from Ohio did come and watch me. She did come and watch me, and then she did not email me ever again, which it was one of those experiences where it was like, okay. But it's not something to bring you down, because towards the end of the summer, I had schools coming and watching. I had emails coming in, and I did have a coach help me. His name was Art Metz. He was a very big help. He had texted, done video, and told everybody, like, hey, come watch this 24 I have. And one of those things where it's they don't email you back, or if they don't like you, it's one of those things where it's like they don't want you. You don't want to go to a school where you're not wanted.
Right.
And there definitely is a school out there for you. D3, D2, D1, it doesn't matter. You're going to find a school, I promise you.
Tell me how you landed into Slippery Rock.
So I did have a couple other of D2 schools on my list and that I was talking to, but Slippery Rock, they actually were really interested in me. They replied to my emails quickly, and the coach was just super, super nice. And she saw the aspect of the game like I did, in my opinion, when I went on a visit with her and talked to her about a lot of things. And when she came to watch me, she actually came up to me and told me, she was like, I loved watching you play. You were one of the most competitive athletes I've seen. And she said that I had a really funny attitude. I was like, okay. And I just thought that she was one of my favorite people. Like, if I wanted a coach, it would be her.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I know. I know through Kayla that they really talked a lot about that coach. So I know that a lot of people really like her.
Yeah,
and
really
when are you guys getting a new field? So I know Slippery Rock is going to get a new field.
All I was told was that it was supposed to be there before I get there.
Okay. You had mentioned Coach Metz, who I do know. I know Metz. My teams used to play against him a lot, so I'm very familiar with him. But tell me a little bit about your support system.
So Coach Art Metz, he was the main source of it all, because my confidence was low, and my travel team that I was on wasn't helping me as much. And he had me guest with his outlaw team, and he had made sure that more than probably 3 coaches knew who I was. And he had actually got coaches to actually come and watch me. He had made videos for me. He had edited them. He had told them the good and the bad about me. He had helped me so much through that process. Like, I don't think I could have gone anywhere else without him.
Okay.
I never played with Metz because he was older, but I did guest with him a lot. But the outlaw team that I was on, it had a couple different coaches throughout the years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Coach Metz just kind of helped you out.
Yes, because his daughter played on my team.
His younger daughter.
His younger daughter, yes.
Ah, okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And that's what it takes too. You need to have people who understand the recruiting process and have the connections.
You need guidance.
A lot of times you don't see that, and people are blaming certain things, and it's just like you need that experience and knowledge to help you through that process. Absolutely.
I would definitely thank my dad too, putting all those hours in, all the work in. He took me to the field, he took me to the cages, and trust me, we fought. We were like, no, this isn't it. Because as a player, you don't want to listen to your parents, but in the long run, they're going to help you. Like, it's going to be they are just trying to help you. They're not trying to.
Yeah. All kids are like that. All kids and dads or moms, they're, especially when you get into your teen years. I mean, I'll say this: whenever I coached Macy, whenever she was younger, up to 13. So when she was right around 13, that's when I moved her to Team Pennsylvania, and I stopped coaching her because not only so much for her, but all the other girls, like when you girls turn teenagers, there's something that happens that makes you.
I know
I mean, I know you're growing up. I get it, but the emotions,
Yeah.
one minute they're happy, next minute they're upset, and I'm like, what is
Yep.
going on? I couldn't deal with it. I had an assistant coach who was a mom, and great,
Yeah.
great with the kids and everything, great coach and all. And I would like look at her. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, it's girl stuff. Don't worry about it. Just don't. I was like, okay, I got to get out of here. Yeah, that's awesome. Parents, if you have a mom or a dad who really help you get better, at some point, the girls, like, you're realizing it now. You may not have realized it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But you realize it now, and it's great that eventually, and us parents know that eventually, you guys are going to figure it out.
Yeah.
What advice would you give players that are currently looking to want to play college softball?
So, like I said, don't get your confidence down right away if a coach doesn't email or text you back. They have a lot of kids wanting to, like, they have a lot of kids emailing them. They have a lot of kids that they need to go see, that they need to go play. Just, I would never let your confidence get down just because one coach doesn't want you. Like, there's definitely more schools. There's so many schools around that you definitely will fit in at. And when you find it, trust me, you'll know. Because when I went on campus, it was like I need to be here. Like, this is where I want to be. And I just want kids to not give up.
Isn't that funny how that works? It's like when you got on Slippery Rock, you're like, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, the campus was so nice. It just really, like, it fit.
But yeah, that's good advice. Confidence is such a hard thing, especially in softball, because I mean it's a roller coaster ride. Even inside of a game, you might have a terrible at bat, strike out, watch 3 pitches, strike 3, and then in an inning or two you're going to bat up again. So you have to figure out how to just have that short-term memory, shake that stuff off, and focus and do better. So. And confidence plays such a big role in that.
It does.
All right. Okay, Shay, nice meeting you. And
nice
like I said,
you too.
Thanks for doing this. And I wish you all the luck this year.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll see you.
Bye.